Now, even as Bangaloreans are coming to terms with the horrifying rape of a 6-year-old on her school premises, another incident has shamed the IT capital of India. A 3-year-old girl was allegedly raped by a predator in her own neighborhood in Talgatpura. The accused minor has been arrested by the police and he'll be taken for medical examination today. Now, it is learned that the accused is the son of the Gram Panchayat member's brother. Now, following the arrest, the accused had been kept in the remand home. Now, the incident came to light when this girl was taken for a checkup to St. John's Hospital in Koramangala. The doctors discovered that the little girl was molested and immediately directed the parents to register a complaint with the police. Well, for more on this, I'm joined in by my colleague Arun from the newsroom. Arun, two incidents first in Koppal here, and before we speak about that, this is a very dastardly incident. A huge hue and cry was made when we talked about a 6-year-old girl, but this is a 3-year-old baby.
Good morning, Nolan. Let's start with the same thing. Very rape report madade nim kelsa na. That was the famous statement that came out of one very prominent politician of the state yesterday.
True.
And truly enough, there is no stopping. This is the only news apart from monsoon that Karnataka is getting at this point of time. It's an extremely disgusting development, to say the least. There seems to be no dearth of these kind of predators and monsters. As you rightly pointed out, as far as the Talgatpura rape is concerned, if that girl in Vibgyor High School was 6 years old, this girl is barely 3. Probably she won't have been even in a position to communicate. Look at the audacity of the monsters. And we have statesmen and politicians asking the media, is this the only kind of news that you cover? So it is high time that perhaps something needs to be done. Perhaps there has to be a very, very, very immediate relook at the Juvenile Act, because as we are seeing, there are instances of juveniles committing this crime. To say that they are below 16 and not able to comprehend what is happening on the part of the accused is a very, very flimsy excuse. The victim, remember, is traumatized, will carry the stigma, and perhaps will be scarred for life psychologically. So there is a need. There are 3 things that the government needs to do at this point of time. Have a thorough review of the Juvenile Act to figure out whether these people need to be treated as juveniles or as adults, because the crime that they have committed by no stretch of imagination is a very flimsy or a minor one. The second thing they need to do is ensure that policing is stepped up. Rape is not something that is acceptable. Maybe a robbery is acceptable, chain snatching is acceptable. By no stretch of imagination are we saying they should be condoned. But the point is, rape is something that is a disgusting kind of a crime. And more importantly, there has to be an assurance given to the fairer sex, be it an older lady, be it a youth, or be it children, that they will be protected. That is the important message that needs to be sent out, and not soundbite saying whether rape is the only kind of news that you guys chase. So there is an important and imperative this thing. Virtually the state is looking at something which will push it down in terms of value. This state will perhaps get the tag of being a state of rapes. That is not something which is acceptable to the state. Remember, we have a very long traditional and cultural history. We are all proud of the fact that we live in this state. This is a state which is endowed with a lot of natural resources. We have the best human resource in the country. We are called the IT capital of the country. We are a city which creates sleepless nights for the most powerful man on planet Earth, President Barack Obama. And at the end of it, we get a tag which says we are the rape capital or the rape state of the country. Is that something that is acceptable, that is enjoyable? Is that something that you and I should be carrying along with us for lifelong? No, certainly not. There is an urgent need to review these things. As far as the Talgatapura rape case is concerned, Nolan, remember the minor has been sent for medical examination. It will now have to be decided that what kind of punishment needs to be meted out. And as we speak about the Talgatapura rape, remember there has been one more incident which has happened in Koppal. So there has been no let down or let off in terms of the number of such heinous crimes being committed on women. It is extremely disgusting that the morning begins with newsprint, with papers splashing this news suggesting that a minor has been raped. It's a very, very, very disgusting and dull beginning to the morning, Nolan.
Now, Arun, in all these cases, what we have seen, many of the perpetrators have been arrested, but we do not see punishment being, or anyone being punished severely. That is what is actually allowing many people to go ahead, and this is what people are now alleging. No one's punished.
Nolan, let me pose a question to you. You have one select group of people who are supposed to be pro-life, anti-death. They are the ones who object to capital punishment. Nobody has raised a voice. Where are these people? You mean to say a 3-year child is not human enough, is not a person who should live her life full? Where are these people who are the pro-life people, who are anti-capital punishment? That is where the horns of dilemma lie. Because if you are finding a 15-year-old boy, a 14-year-old boy, a 16-year-old boy, all of them committing this heinous crime, there are doubts. What is the kind of punishment that needs to be meted out?
Now, Arun, let me just butt in over here. The victims' family members are not asking for capital punishment. They say that that's an easy way out. What they want is for the perpetrator of these crimes to suffer.
Nolan, the victim is not in a position, victim cannot comprehend what has happened. And the person who has committed the crime, the accused, will get away with it because he is supposed to be at an age where he doesn't comprehend what has happened. The point is, we need to send out a very strict message. If you mess around with women, you will be punished severely. Whether it involves capital punishment or whether it involves incarceration for something like 25, 30, 50 years, doesn't make a difference. The point is, you must mete out severest of punishments. There should be no going away from this. If this kind of crime rate continues, the day is not too far when perhaps one of the courts will take suo moto cognizance of the fact that these kind of crimes are happening. They will haul the government over coal. What will the government then respond? Will they say that we are still wondering what is the kind of charges on which the accused should be booked, whether he should be booked for under the Juvenile Act or whether he should be treated as a major? Is that the line of argument that the state government is going to give out?
You know,
you will have to treat it, Nolan. I think you will have to treat it not from any other perspective, but from the perspective of the victim.
Arun, the moment the judiciary steps in, like what you stated, the politicians always cry judicial activism.
Nolan, if a 3-year-old child is being raped and you are saying that there is no action forthcoming, and if the courts were to take suo moto cognizance of what is happening, by no stretch of imagination is it called judicial activism. Humanity, Nolan, it is a question of humanity. The judge, after all, if he takes suo moto cognizance of what has been happening, he is also a human being. His heart reaches out to the victim. There is by no stretch of imagination, at least in my heart, left for the accused, Nolan. He's committed a crime, and for which, if he's going to go scot-free, my blood boils. And I think there are enough number of people like me in this society, in this state, in this world, who feel the same way. The victim's life is scarred forever, Nolan. We will have to reach out to the victim, not take umbrage under the fact that the Juvenile Act applies to the accused, and therefore whether he should be treated in the juvenile home or sent to the Parapana Agrahara. That is by no stretch of imagination an argument.
Right.
The victim needs to be protected. The victim's concerns, care, and the fact that she's psychologically disturbed, that needs to be addressed at this point of time, Nolan.
Right, Arun, thank you very much for all those details. Now, two incidents have come to light from Koppal, one yesterday, one today. I hope the Chief Minister is listening. Hope the Chief Minister is awake in the first place, because we always see him dozing off in the assembly while the sessions are going on. Yesterday, two girls somehow managed to escape, but in today's incident, the girl was unfortunate. She could not escape, but the police managed to arrest the accused. That's in Koppal, and right here in Bengaluru in Talgatpura. Thankfully, this time around, the police have again arrested the accused. He's a minor. He's been taken into custody.